What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction. Back with some more Kors, which is to say we're going to listen to some vintage 90s acid-trance from Michael Kors, spelled with a K in his actual surname, but in his releases on Noom, the legendary hard/acid-trance label, he went by Kors of the Sea. He did also release records under the name Albion on Time Unlimited, the German hard/acid-trance label. I think there are a couple records, one of which I have, where he released under the name Kors with a K, again, the way he actually spells his family name. But yes, I think his stuff under Kors of the Sea on Noom is maybe the most famous material he ever released. In any case, he's an all-time acid legend, and in fact he went by Mirage on some releases too, I think one or maybe two of which I've already reacted to. In any case, I was in two minds as to which track from this release, Kors, or rather Noom 26 from 1997, I should react to, because Babylon it's an acid trance track, but it's a bit more on the hard trance end of the spectrum, meaning acid is one of the supporting elements. Manual System is a more straightaway acid trancer, and it's a bit darker, it's a bit more nefarious, or at least mysterious sounding. So yes, in the moment, and indeed I really haven't actually decided yet, so I guess we'll do Babylon, which is the A side of this record, though I do have to say Manual System is probably my favorite on the release, so I'll try to come back and react to that soon. But yeah, let's give Babylon a listen because it is a bit more trance-oriented as opposed to entirely acid-focused like Manual System. So here we go, this is Kors Babylon from Noom 26, 1997. This is a placeholder kick. Well, we'll see where it comes in. That muffled kick, it's sort of like when you're approaching a trance or techno party, but you're still a bit of a distance away, or you're on the other side of a big concrete wall. Which was always an exciting thing back in the day. Like, you'd be walking up to the party or walking over to where the party is, and you could hear the kick, but it was distant, muffled. For your what?
This is for my
Metallic rattling. layers. Yeah, so many different pieces and various samples. The whole thing feels like a long migration journey in space, like transporting a civilization or a population to colonize some faraway planet. Waiting for that secondary bass line to come back. You know, that track's like 10 minutes long, and that felt maybe like 5. It's just a testament to the transportive qualities of 90s trance in general, acid trance even more particularly, and Core's work very specifically. So, yes, I think it's a really good tune. I mentioned, I think it's actually the second best track on this record, so I'll try to come back relatively soon and react to Manual System, which again has a bit of a darker acidic atmosphere and drive to it, and where acid is really the main feature. Here, acid again, it has a supporting element and that bubbly little riff of acid, which is sort of in 2 layers and dominates the back half of the track. It's still just one among many features here, and there's enough regular synth melody that I think you can call this hard trance with acid, whereas Manual System is definitely acid trance. So I'll try to come back for that one soon. I know there's some other tracks that are still waiting, meaning I need to react to the other version of Acid People after I did the first version of that. I still have a version of Cascades Transcend to come back and react to. I think there's 1 or 2 others that have been waiting. So yes, I have these still upwhere in the chaos of my mind, but we'll go through them all eventually. And yes, ultimately the skill and just legendary acid trance master status of Michael Kors, I think, is on good display here. And it's an indicator of a lot of the 90s acid trance that got me into the genre to begin with, along with tracks by Nuclear Hyde and, of course, Pablo Gargano and some others. So, yes, those 3 were the most primarily responsible for giving me this lifelong addition to acid trance. And I think for a tune that's roughly just about 3 decades old, this holds up really well. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.